Hello, everyone. I think we're good to start. Welcome, everyone, today. Thank you very much for joining us today for the Regional Transit Services Commission press conference and media availability. We have several speakers about to present. Once our speakers are finished, there will be an opportunity for members of the media who've joined us to ask questions for the 8 board members who will be with us for that portion of our proceedings. And with that, I would like to ask Councillor Wes Broadhead from St. Albert to begin.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Wes Broadhead, and I am the councillor for the City of St. Albert and the Regional Transit Services Commission Interim Board Chair. On behalf of myself and other board members who are honored to represent 8 participating municipalities, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate a major milestone for the region. Before we get started, however, I'd like to first respectfully acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. As treaty people, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, we share the responsibility for stewardship of this beautiful land. I'd like to first recognize our distinguished guests in attendance today. First, the Honorable Rick McIver, Minister of Transportation and Interim Minister of Municipal Affairs, is with us today to bring greetings on behalf of the province. I'd like to introduce to you as well the interim board members. City of Edmonton Ward 10 Councillor Michael Walters, City of Beaumont Councillor Sam Munkoff-Swain, City of Leduc Councillor Glenn Finstad, City of Spruce Grove Councillor Chantal McKenzie, City of Fort Saskatchewan Councillor Gordon Harris, Town of Devon Mayor Ray Ralph, Town of Stony Plain Councillor Justin Laurie. Since 2018, the Rtsc Interim Board has worked closely with their councils and administrations, as well as the Government of Alberta, to form a Regional Transit Commission. In December of 2020, the application to establish our commission as a legal entity was submitted by the 8 participating municipalities, consistent with the province Red Tape Reduction Act. Today is a good day in the journey to establish a commission. I'd now like to invite the Honorable Rick McIver, Minister of Transportation and Interim Minister of Municipal Affairs, to bring greetings on behalf of the province and to speak into the significance of today's event. Minister McIver.
Thanks, Councillor Broadhead. Thanks everybody else for being here. And yeah, I want to say how happy I am to be part of this important day. It's great to be here with a bunch of municipal colleagues and members of the media virtually on really what is another historic day in Alberta. It's my honor to formally announce the official formation of the Edmonton Metropolitan Transit Services Commission. And while that's a mouthful, it's an important mouthful. As part of our our government's red tape reduction commitment, we recently approved changes to the Municipal Government Act. And the folks here today on the new Transit Commission Board are actually making the most of that. The new commission is the first one registered as a Regional Services Commission under those amendments recently to the Municipal Government Act. So congratulations and thank you. These changes gave municipalities more autonomy by reducing the role the province has in approving many business decisions. The commission brings the cities of Edmonton, Beaumont, Fort Saskatchewan, Leduc, Spruce Grove, and St. Albert, and the towns of Devon and Stony Plain under one umbrella to provide integrated public transit service to residents of the Metropolitan Edmonton region. A regional public transportation system, of course, is well suited to operate in the capital region area. And who better than municipally elected people to know what's actually needed for their citizens. This commission will bring immediate cost savings, eliminate duplication of services, and most importantly, improve transit and travel options for the people of the capital region. This is a good news day for residents in the Greater Capital Region. Regional Transit Commission is also an effective economic driver. It's increasingly important to have a transportation network that not only moves people quickly and efficiently, but provides critical links to get to and from work, educational institutions, and to take advantage of leisure and entertainment options in a safe, reliable network. So providing public transportation options gives people flexibility for day-to-day travel, both for those that don't choose not to drive a vehicle or don't have one, and also for those that just don't have a vehicle. It provides mobility to the broad spectrum of the population. So the Commission will be able to leverage investments made by the Capital Region by Alberta's government, such as a $30 million NACI Transit Center Park and Ride in St. Albert, the recently announced 65th Avenue interchange in Leduc, and of course the West Valley LRT line in Edmonton. It will also result in better access to the Edmonton International Airport. And we all look forward to the day when we can come and go as we please. It's another, which is, let's face it, the airport's a key transportation and growth hub for Alberta. Bringing 8 municipalities under one umbrella is no easy task, but it demonstrates what can happen when everyone's working towards a common cause, providing safe, efficient, and cost-effective services to the taxpayers. Alberta's government was proud to support this work. A $3.7 million community partnership grant to St. Albert and Edmonton helped study the potential to create the commission without presenting upfront costs to its members. The expansion of Ray Gibbons Drive in St. Albert, the QE2 65th Avenue interchange at Leduc, the opening of the NACI Transit Center in St. Albert are some examples of collaboration between municipalities and the Alberta government. As our communities continue to grow and municipal borders become less restrictive, it's essential that our transportation system, both public and commercial, can move people, goods, and services quickly and efficiently. It's good business, and it's good for the quality of life for our citizens. As Minister of Municipal Affairs, I want to congratulate and commend the work of the interim board for the efforts in building the vision for a regional transit service in the Edmonton Metropolitan region. I know firsthand how trying it could be for any politicians to agree with each other on anything. So this is really something special and something to be admired and congratulated today. So without your cooperation and the cooperation of yours and other councils, today just would not have happened. As Minister of Transportation, I look forward to working with you on meeting the current and future needs of transportation in the Capital Region and across Alberta. Good work, everybody. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your inspiring words, Minister McIver, and for your government's commitment and support of the establishment of the Edmonton Metropolitan Transit Services Commission. Thank you. You have supported this initiative, both financially and legislatively. And quite honestly, your words today indicate your deep understanding of the vision of regional transit for the Capital Region here. It's a good day. Today is, to coin a phrase, the end of the beginning of a process when 8 municipalities committed to work together to collectively and collaboratively provide transit services to the region, and that this service is more efficient and effective than providing transit services individually. The journey to form the commission started years ago, and the history leading up to today, in my opinion at least, is a wildly interesting testimonial to a large number of people who engaged in a common vision and exhibited the determination and perseverance to overcome the obstacles to achieve their goal. And their vision is for a future where, regardless of where you live, learn, work, or play, you can experience everything all 8 communities have to offer. This made possible by transportation links provided by communities working together as a whole. In March of 2018, the Metro Mayors Alliance Advisory Panel published a report that concluded the following, and I quote, "We believe that a globally competitive Edmonton metropolitan region can be achieved, but only if municipalities act together to build the regional systems that are needed to leverage our strengths. Today, we have taken the first step to answer this challenge by building a regional transit commission. We find ourselves in trying times, none more so than the last year when we have all faced the physical and economic ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pressure to achieve a more perfect region where municipalities work together for the benefit of all has never been more acute. The need to stretch every tax dollar to its limit to provide some measure of relief to our citizens cannot and will not be ignored. Regionally provided transit services is a working example of a mechanism to achieve this end. Now, let me briefly describe the initial stages of standing up the commission. The first steps will include completing the recruitment of the Chief Executive Officer. It is absolutely critical that we engage the right individual to lead the commission, one who clearly understands that the commission, as much as it is a transit authority, is actually so much more. It represents the collective will of 8 municipalities to work together to achieve a common goal. Its success will underpin this principle within the Edmonton Metropolitan region. This work will require an individual with exemplary leadership skills, coupled with political acumen, and completed with a visionary understanding of the transit industry of the future. Next, the commission itself needs to be established with all the infrastructure necessary to successfully run an organization. The commission will then do the hard work of operationalizing a plan to introduce regional services in the fall of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, I could speak at length on the commission, but you have many voices to hear today. But before we continue with our program, and because I only have one real clear crack at the mic, I must take this opportunity to say a few thank yous to some very important people without whose efforts today would not have been possible. First, to the administrative teams from each of the municipalities who actually did the work necessary to stand up this commission. Thank you. It's easy for elected officials to stand up in front of the microphones and accept the credit. Today, you need to take a bow. You deserve it. Next, to the team from Ernst & Young. Consultants often do not receive the credit for the work they do. However, you did your industry proud by the work you did in supporting the development of this business case. While the team was large and many contributed to our success, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the names of 3. Haley Rtsc, Joss Cole, and Alan Tom. Al, your leadership, determination, and indeed your work ethic were inspiring and critical to the success of the project. When Ernst & Young was hired, I was hoping we'd get the A team. We did. Thank you. To the 8 mayors of the communities the commissions will serve, thank you. Without your support today would never have come. I could tell stories of each of the mayors supporting the commission. But for today, I will only ask Mayor Iveson and Mayor Herron to remember the very first day that you met with Councillor Walters and I to kick off the commission project. Many days later, here we are. It's a good day. To my board members, there are no words to fully describe the journey that has led us to today. All I can say is that it has been an honor to serve with each of you. Today is a good day. I saved my last thank you for my friend and co-conspirator on this journey of creating a regional transit commission, Edmonton Ward 10 Councillor Michael Walters. Michael, over the last 7 years, I've had the privilege of working with you and coming to know you, and have come to appreciate your deep love for the community you serve. Your rare intellect, your determination to succeed, and your ability to see through complex issues have all been indispensable to our success. Your wisdom and steady hand have taken us through some very tough spots, but we have endured. Edmonton has benefited greatly by your service, and your departure from public office will be their loss, and indeed, a loss felt by the entire region. But As you told me the other day, you're not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon. So today is a good day. Thank you, Michael. Folks, it now gives me great pleasure to introduce a short video that highlights the opportunity before us to collectively work together to achieve a stronger, more connected region. I would ask that you all mute your microphones and shut off your video cameras and watch and listen for a few moments.
The Regional Transit Service Commission has been approved. The Rtsc will provide regional transit services in a cost-effective manner. And in the future, we'll move beyond traditional transit and provide regional mobility services within the Edmonton Metropolitan region.
8 municipalities in the region have come together with a shared goal of improving transit and mobility across our communities. And these 8 will form the core membership of the Rtsc, which will serve as a key building block in the recovery of our region.
An elected official from each of the 8 member municipalities is serving on the board of the Commission to provide direction and oversight. They are supported by a cross-municipality program team who bring their knowledge and expertise to the Commission.
The joint application is now approved. The board will work with the CEO to stand up the Commission over 2021, which will benefit the region when it comes to attracting people, jobs, and investment in our communities.
The old way of doing things is no longer an option. There has never been a more important time for municipalities in the region to come together and pool resources than now.
While ridership numbers have not yet rebounded to pre-pandemic levels, public transit remains an essential service to countless people across our communities that rely on transit every day. The purpose and vision of the Rtsc extends far beyond the end of this pandemic and plans for a future of sustainable transit services in our region.
The Rtsc will deliver a regional transit system that supports and enhances growth and regional connectivity in the Edmonton area. This connectivity allows for increased accessibility to regional destinations and increased opportunities for people to live, work, and play.
Residents, businesses, and the regional economy will benefit from an efficient and integrated transit system. The concept of a regional transit system has been studied and talked about for years.
Transit in our region must evolve to improve mobility, reduce congestion from automobiles, and to promote a sustainable future for transportation in our region.
Regional transit must be people-centric to meet higher expectations from current and future riders. For this service to be sustainable, it must effectively encourage the use of transit as an attractive alternative to driving.
The Rtsc plans to roll out regional transit services in mid to late 2022 following a public consultation and transit planning process designed to meet the needs of current and future transit customers.
And other communities may be interested in joining in the future, and the board would be open to those discussions.
Regional transit will serve as the backbone of the capital region by connecting communities and supporting a stronger, greener, and more prosperous region. Transit planning and delivery will now go beyond the traditional commuter routes in and out of Edmonton.
The Rtsc will bring together municipal transit services that will benefit all in the region. The mission challenges us to think broader than conventional transit by allowing a variety of sustainable mobility options to best serve our region's people and communities.
The vision of the Rtsc is an experience where you can go any place at any time in the way that you choose. This is the future of mobility, and customer service is at the heart of it. Services will be nimble and will be scaled to meet demand.
From on-demand service through regional express services through high-speed bus services, customers will have a more efficient way to reach their destination. The Rtsc will form strong partnerships, amplify the voice of the region, and attract people and investment so we can join the ranks of other top Canadian cities. The Rtsc will connect communities through a fast,
convenient,
simple,
reliable,
efficient,
and affordable transit service
that seamlessly integrates
with other modes of transportation.
Well, to the technical team that put that video together, thank you so much. It was truly a good video. Ladies and gentlemen, if you could re-engage your video cameras, and for my board colleagues to engage their microphones at the appropriate time. It's now my pleasure to introduce my friend and Vice Chair of the Edmonton Metropolitan Transit Services Commission, Ward 10 Councillor Michael Walters. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Wes. And all those kind things you said to me, I could say back to you and then some. So it's been a pleasure working with you and with all of my other board colleagues on this initiative. This is indeed a great day. And it's great because this new commission represents a new entity that will be responsible for delivering regional transit and mobility services for the 8 member municipalities and hopefully more in the future. While ETS will continue to be a standalone entity delivering local transit for several more years, the City of Edmonton is extremely proud to be part of this commission as we drive towards a fully integrated regional transit network in the next few years. In the short term, we will be shifting up to 10% of our service into this new commission. In the coming months, the detailed work begins and the commission will formalize a business strategy, structure, and a culture to position the organization to succeed in fulfilling this mandate. A key part of this immediate work will include a workforce and labor strategy, including how and when hiring will begin for the new entity, and that this be done in consultation with each current municipality and their local transit agencies. The commission needs to build a strong team that demonstrates the skills and the expertise and the passion that are the foundation of a well-run and well-integrated transit system across our region. With that, it is now my pleasure to introduce Councillor Sam Munkoff-Swain from the beautiful city of Beaumont.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be here on this exciting day for Beaumont and the region. So what does this mean for Beaumont? It means that we have a seat at the table in terms of planning the future of mobility for the region and better integrates Beaumont into the regional economy. It provides our residents with longer hours of service, more frequent buses, and access to additional routes to travel within the region. In short, being part of this regional commission provides better service at a lower cost to our taxpayers. So how's the commission going to be structured in the earlier stages? So a tremendous amount of work has been done to date, working with transit professionals across the region, building a comprehensive, customer-focused service delivery model. This approach will guide how our new organization delivers its core services, meets the needs of customers, and engages with municipalities in pursuit of the organization's mandate and vision. It would also guide our municipalities through the transition period to minimize disruption to our customers and make it seamless for workers so that municipalities can realize all the benefits of pooling our resources. In summary, we're moving to a regional transit model to provide a common and improved transit experience for people who rely on it and also benefit everyone in the region. I'd now like to pass it over to my friend and regional neighbour, Councillor Glenn Finstad from the beautiful city of Leduc.
Well, thank you. Thank you, beautiful Beaumont and Councillor Munkoff-Swain for the warm introduction to Leduc, the crossroads of air, highways, and rail. For Leduc, we look forward to enhancing the economic benefits to the region and better connect people in Leduc to business and employment opportunities. The Leduc Council and transit professionals have been instrumental in developing the commission and ensuring Leduc residents are well served. Extensive work has been completed to build a framework and a commission that will be able to deliver on its critical mandate. To this end, the board is looking forward to adopting bylaws that will facilitate effective and timely decision-making. Our bylaws are built on the principle of regional collaboration, respect the interests of all member municipalities, and enshrines an equitable decision-making model. It's now my pleasure to introduce and welcome Councillor McKenzie from the vibrant, dynamic city of Spruce Grove. Chantel.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Finstad. First, I'd just really like to say that I'm so proud to be part of this commission representing the city of Spruce Grove. Spruce Grove has had a long history of collaborating with our municipal neighbors on delivering integrated services to the region. And we are excited to see the spirit of partnership being extended even further. For some examples, we have partnered with the City of Edmonton on commuter operations and fleet maintenance. We have developed a tri-municipal regional transit plan and implemented cost-sharing measures with Stony Plain and Parkland County. We have also partnered with Edmonton, St. Albert, Fort Saskatchewan, Leduc, and Beaumont on the UPass and Smart Fare initiatives. With today's announcement, we look to further that collaborative approach by connecting Spruce Grove residents and businesses with even more services and destinations. I am a firm believer that reliable transportation generates positive economic and social impacts for communities. I think I speak for all of my colleagues today when I say that the formation of this commission will only increase those impacts. This will be achieved through active partnerships between all 8 municipalities. And we will continue to work with all of our stakeholders in the region to serve the residents and the businesses. Today's celebration of the legal formation of this commission is the next step towards realizing our vision of a collaborative, connected regional transit service. This group is dedicated to serving our residents. This group is dedicated to collaboration and teamwork. And once again, this is a group that I am so proud to be part of. So thank you for that opportunity. And I'd now like to introduce Councillor Harris from the fabulous Fort Saskatchewan.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Councillor McKenzie. Fort Saskatchewan is seeking to improve transit service and ensure it is delivered in a more cost-effective way. For Fort Saskatchewan and our region to be more economically competitive and an attractive home for business, it is critical that we are part of an integrated regional transit network and economy. Fort Saskatchewan's participation in a regional transit commission demonstrates its willingness to explore any and every opportunity for regional collaboration that will benefit our city. We have worked extensively to build a business case and a sound financial plan to support regional transit. Critical work has begun to prepare the organization to operate in a way that is fiscally prudent and sound, such that member municipalities realize the projected savings. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mayor Ray Ralph of the town of Devon. Mayor Ralph?
Thank you, Councillor Harris, and to Fort Saskatchewan for joining us in the commission to bring new transit options to the Edmonton Metropolitan region. Transit is especially important to us in Devon. We have been working hard on bringing transit to our community for many years and to provide this level of service to our residents. I would also like to thank Councillor Tanya Hugh for her participation and involvement up to date to get us where we are today. Being part of the commission gives us the opportunity to work with our regional partners to bring reliable, consistent, and affordable public transit to our town. This regional commission also allows for transit services to be innovative and tailored to meet the town of Devon's needs. With Devon being part of the regional transit network, the town will be better connected to employment and education options and to key destinations like the Edmonton International Airport and our neighboring communities. Transit has been reinforced as an essential service during the COVID-19 pandemic and will be a critical piece to our economic recovery. The Commission will not only provide conventional transit services, but is charged to embrace new technology and mobile options to bring a new level of service to transit for all users. I will like to now pass this over to my friend, Councillor Laurie from the town of Stony Plain to share his remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Ralph. Developing local transit has been a priority for Stony Plain over the last several years. This spring, we will be launching our own new public transit service, and as we move to the future, the Commission will play a key role in expanding our rider base and providing better connection into our neighboring municipalities. Stony Plain is no stranger to working alongside regional partners, and by working together, we can improve the quality of life and establish our region as an attractive destination for residents, businesses, and future investment. For Stony Plain and the Edmonton Metropolitan region to be competitive, we must develop a regional mindset. And this strong regional approach needs to apply to the way we plan our region, attract businesses, and deliver transit. For regional collaboration to be effective, it requires true partnerships and consultation. For this endeavor to be successful, the Commission will be transparent engage with the public, and respect the viewpoints of all its member municipalities. Public participation is a key factor in the heart of Stony Plain's community development and decision-making process. It allows us to make better decisions, ensure processes are equitable, to be inclusive, to clearly define roles and responsibilities, to be transparent and accountable, and to be proactive. We will continue to engage our community and develop public transit services that are accessible and meet the needs of all of our residents. Following a public consultation and transit planning process designed to meet the needs of the current and future transit customers, the Commission is excited to plan for a rollout of our regional transit service in mid to late 2022. With that, I would like to turn it back over to our moderator.
Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor Laurie, and thank you to all of our speakers. We're now moving to the Q&A portion of our event. We have members of the media on the call with us, and if those members of the media who do have questions could use the raise hand function, not the chat function, I will call on you, and then at that point, before asking your question, if you could please just introduce yourself and name your outlet, we'll direct your question. And so we have a question from Sarah Ryan. And so I will unmute you, and if you could please go ahead.
Hi there, can you hear me? This is Sarah from Global News.
We can hear you, Sarah. Please
Wonderful.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for your time today. There's been a lot of talk in the video about regional transit and the benefits, but I'm hoping someone can just break down, like, for an Edmontonian or a resident of Devon or any of the municipalities, what does this actually look like? Is it one bus pass that can take you from Devon to Fort Saskatchewan? Is it an entirely new line of buses that are different from our ETS buses? What does it mean for a transit rider in like a practical sense, please?
Thanks very much, Sarah. And I will direct your question to Councillor Wes Broadhead with that question.
Well, thank you, Sarah, so much for the question. And quite honestly, you've hit the point as to why we actually committed to this work in the first place. The idea is to provide a seamless transportation experience on our public transit system that removes the systemic barriers moving from one municipality to the other. And so as we move forward, there will certainly be an integration of fare systems and those things that allow for a customer service experience that meets the end of a regional system. Now, on day one, you might not see anything different other than a Edmonton transit bus driving down a street, or a St. Albert bus, or a Spruce Grove colored bus. But over time, you'll see the integration of the system as it begins to expand. Intentionally, we decided that we were going to start slowly by integrating the local service in the outer ring and integrate the intermunicipal services within the Transit Commission. And beyond that, our plan then is to integrate the Edmonton service locally further on down the line. But the intention is for someone who lives in Fort Saskatchewan to get on a bus there and be able to seamlessly travel to Leduc, for example, or to the airport, or somebody from St. Albert could go through to Stony Plain, and all without having to worry about different bus passes, different fares, or even getting on a different bus. The intent is to provide that service that links communities and employment nodes and places where life occurs within our community. It's a quality of life issue for many in our community, and public transit is there to serve that need.
Thank you, Councillor Walters. Any other questions from members of the media? I think Sarah might have a follow-up. So just before I go back to Sarah, I'll see if any other hands are raised. Andrew Walker. So I'm going to unmute Andrew. And
hi, thanks for taking my question.
very curious about, this may seem like a bit of an off-topic question, but lost and found. Let's say someone from Stony Plain is heading to St. Albert or, you know, any of the other municipalities, and they happen to lose a valuable item of some sort. How is that going to work out with retrieving that item? Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So a question on all elements of service integration. I'll direct that back to Councillor West Broadhead.
Well, thank you again, Andrew, for that question. Quite honestly, the specifics of those technical details will certainly be worked out, but I suspect that the way it works then will be the way it works now. You phone the Lost and Found Department of the Edmonton Metro Transit Services Commission, you say, gee, I lost my, or left my valuable article on a bus. You give them the time, you give them the bus number, and then the commission will move heaven and earth to get that very valuable piece of property back to you.
Thank you, Councillor Walters. Other questions from members of the media that have joined us today? I believe we have a question from Jackson Spring, and I'll just unmute Jackson.
Hi. It was mentioned that one of the benefits of this system would be that there would be no duplications of service. Considering that, I'm wondering if it's possible that the exclusion of municipalities like Sherwood Park might diminish the service. You know, Sherwood Park has a ton of buses that operate in Edmonton. Thanks.
Thanks for that question, Jackson. Again, I'll direct that to Chair Broadhead.
Thank you very much, Jackson. I appreciate the question. Quite honestly, when we started off this journey, 13 members in the Edmonton Metropolitan region signed on to develop the business case that eventually was developed. We worked hard to answer every question that municipalities had. In the end, though, each municipality chose to join or not to join based on their own intent, I guess, for their community. And we don't, you know, diminish that decision at all. We're certainly more inclusive as a community and as a region if all 13 members participated. But the economic viability of this commission does not rely on any one particular community. 8 communities saw the vision, embraced the vision, and here we are today. And we will demonstrate through our service delivery and the savings that come through to the 8 communities here, the viability of the business model of working together.
Thank you, Councillor. Other questions? I think Sarah's got her hand up for a second one, and so I will unmute.
Hi, thank you. I have a few if no one else has questions. If I can ask, can someone just clarify, do any of the 8 municipalities involved right now, do any of them not currently have their own bus service?
Let me put Councillor Broadhead back in the hot seat just to mention which municipalities currently do have service.
Well, I believe that Mayor Ray Ralph could speak more eloquently to that. Mayor Ralph, do you want to just speak to that?
Yes, actually, we're one of the only municipalities that don't currently have transit. And as a small community such as ours, but so our relationship and our demographics, et cetera, we were really looking at opportunities of ways that we could offer transit to move our residents around. But unfortunately, as an individual or one local municipality, we could not feasibly or financially afford to do so. So this actually opens up a whole new door and a whole new opportunity for the town of Devon residents to have transit opportunities and have the opportunity to make it go to the airport or connect to go to the university or to the LRT. So for our community, this is a huge opportunity, and it's so positive One of the biggest things that the town of Devon has struggled with, and I've been coming up on my 14th year involved with council, is trying to maintain and trying to offer services like transit services to our young people when they graduate. Because the first thing they do if they don't have a car is move away. Or our seniors to get to do special shopping or go into the city. If they didn't have a car, they just couldn't go. So this opens up a wide opportunity for our residents. Thank you.
And thank you, Mayor Ralph. I'm not sure if Deputy Mayor Laurie wants to quickly speak on that too.
Sure, thanks, Josh. I'll just add some quick comments to it. You know, in Stony Plain, we are incredibly excited. We're kicking off our local transit system this coming spring. We have had great partnerships with the City of Spruce Grove and Parkland County on commuter transit here for the last several years. And we're looking forward to the Commission allowing us to actually accelerate and enhance the service to our community much quicker and much better than we would be able to do on our own. The regional approach truly will have a great benefit for the town of Stony Plain and our residents, and the ability to connect to all areas of the region, as well as allow us to focus on what we can provide for our local transit service to get them around in our more defined area. But the ability for us to participate in this and move so much quicker than we would have been able to on our own on transit is just instrumental to the continued development and enhancement of the town of Stony Plain.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Sarah, just before I go back to your next question, just want to see if anyone else that is here has one. And not seeing any hands. So Sarah, I will.
Thank you. We've talked about cost savings. So what are the forecasted cost savings, and where are they coming from? Is it saving in, you know, purchasing actual buses? Is it saving in the management part of it? What does that look like?
Great, thanks for the question. And Councillor Broadhead smiling because he knows I'm going to go back to him to start.
Well, thank you very much again, Sarah. A wonderful question. And again, a foundational reason why we're doing this work and forming the commission. One of the chief aims of forming a regional collaborative system is to provide the same services at a reduced cost. And so that was realized through the formation of this business case. Now, your question, quite honestly, is so where is this savings found? The savings is found as defined in our business case in the reduction of duplication of services. So there are many instances today where you will have an Edmonton transit bus, a St. Albert bus, and indeed Spruce Grove bus, all driving down the same roads at the same time, going to the same destination. And those duplications of services can be eliminated through the process of integrating the systems, where we will then have one bus going to the same place, serving all residents of the region to get to that destination. Now, there are other savings to be found in this, to be sure, but in our business case, we've only identified the savings related to the reduction in duplication of services. We didn't want to oversell the business case. So when we are all stood up and fully functioning, we will save the region $2.2 million annually for how we do business in providing public transit within the region. Now, this will be fully realized once the commission is fully stood up and operationalized. And then the board at that time will decide whether those dollars are returned back to the communities. And don't forget that the board is actually made up of elected officials from those 8 communities. So they'll have an opportunity to wrestle with the question around whether or not it is better to invest that dollars back into the region or into improved transit services to the residents in the communities that we serve. So it's an exciting time. It's an opportunity to start to realize to make the dollars that communities receive for services like public transit, to make them stretch further, to be more effective in how we do business, and that the residents of our communities will realize the benefit of that. And so that's where we're going with this.
Thank you, Councillor Broadhead. Have I just asked Councillor Walters to add to that?
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for the question, Sarah. And just to put a slightly finer point on Wes's answer when he talks about, the same, different buses traveling on the same roads at the same time, going to the same place. What we've discovered is that there's in excess of 600 service hours per week of redundancy that can be eliminated and made more efficient, which is where that cost savings of close to $4 million a year comes from. So that's what the initial business case revealed, and as we actually now build the organization beyond conceptual routes and put in place, actual routes with actual service hours, we'll learn more about where efficiency can be found and where better service can be achieved. But there is a clear case for what we're doing here today from a financial perspective and from a better service in terms of providing better service to the residents of the region. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Walters. Other questions? Okay, Sarah, is that hand still up maybe for a final question?
Sure, I would love that. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for indulging me, everyone. I'm sorry that I am the only one asking questions. If I may, Councillor Walters, for Devon, I completely understand why this would be advantageous. In Edmonton, we have ETS. We're making a lot of progress with LRT. And in some neighborhoods, ETS service is being reduced this spring. So can you talk for Edmontonians, what is the advantage? A lot of Edmontonians don't necessarily have to leave Edmonton for shopping or services or medical or anything like that. So what's the benefit to Edmontonians?
Sure.
Thanks, Sarah. I'll just, Councillor Walters.
Thank you for that question. I'll start very generally. The benefits to Edmontonians are that we are committed to cooperating with our neighbors in the region, and that Councillor Broadhead indicated earlier the Metro Mayors Alliance report, which talked about three things, actually. It talked about how the region would be more competitive economically if we not only introduced a regional transit service, but if we planned our land use more regionally, and if we work together on economic development collectively. And so those benefits to Edmontonians are very clear, in that as our local economy improves and grows, not just Edmontonians, but all residents and all municipalities in the region benefit from that. So the more we're thinking collectively, the better it is going to be for our future in every municipality in the region. As you know, we just did go through a major bus network redesign. And while some neighborhoods are seeing reduced service, the reason for that reduction of service is because of lower ridership and lower demand for service in those neighborhoods. But not to strand those riders that are there, we are providing a first kilometer, last kilometer service, on-demand bus service for them, so that all areas of Edmonton will be served by transit in some form. The benefits to this are partly financial as well, in that Edmontonians, like all taxpayers in the region, want a good value for the money that they're spending, and they don't want to see, whether it be through local municipal taxes or grants from the provincial government for capital, supporting inefficient public services. So when you have 3 or 4 buses running the same route at the same time in any given day, I think most sensible taxpayers and citizens will look at that and say that's not the best way for us to do this. This is a much smarter financial approach across the region. And believe it or not, Edmontonians also like to travel to other municipalities in the region. And it's not just about people who come into Edmonton, it's about providing opportunities for people in Edmonton to travel to other destinations in the region. The airport's an obvious one, but there are reasons. We have attractions and family and friends who live in other municipalities in the Edmonton region, and this just creates more choice and better connected mobility for people everywhere, including those folks who live in Edmonton. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, thank you all.
Thank you, Councillor Walters. Thank you to all the board members. Thank you to the minister. That is the end of our event. Thank you to the members of media who attended. A recording of this event will be shared with those who registered for the members of the media today and who are here with us, and it will be posted, we expect tomorrow, on municipal websites. So thanks again for everyone for attending, and have a good day. Thank you.